You're watching Adorama TV.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Adorama TV product reviews. Well, this week we're looking at the JuicedLink DT454 4-channel DSLR Preamp. It's this little guy that's right here on the bottom of my camera. Now the cool thing is this allows you to attach 4 microphones, external microphones to your DSLR camera. And it mounts right to the bottom of your camera, so you can use that for run and gun style of videography where you're out there shooting handheld or maybe mounted to a Zacuto rig, something like that. But it allows you to put in 2 balanced inputs, and then there's also an input for a tip and ring, so you can have 2 unbalanced inputs as well. And so that's where that goes, and this output goes here. I had it in the wrong place. And so this then has a little cable that goes right into your camera, and it goes into the microphone input. And it's really cool because you can control all 4 of those inputs with these little dials right here on the back. So there's XLR left and right, and then you have tip, which is the left, and ring, which is the right. And so you have 2 microphones coming in here, and then 2 more coming in here, and so there you need an external adapter so you can put in some additional microphones there. And then you can also plug in headphones for monitoring and then adjust that. And then there is a meter right here that allows you to see how hot these different levels are, so you can adjust those and make sure everything looks great, which is really nice if you have a camera that doesn't have any built-in meters to see how hot the audio is, and so that's really nice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this off the bottom of my camera, and this attaches with just a screw, and then you just use a little Allen wrench, and that unscrews just like that. And I'll just put that to the side. And so this is what the JuicedLink really looks like. It's about the size of your hand. It's really nice. Now on the bottom of this, here are some controls that you're going to be changing. Usually once you have this set up for your microphone and camera and you have it dialed in, you just sort of leave it there. You don't have to do any changing to it except for maybe dialing in the levels of different people speaking. So that's why these here are really easy to get to. They're right there in the front. And these are a little bit more recessed because once you have it set up for your camera, you're going to leave it. So the different things these has, we're not going to go through every single setting on this, but some of the big things that this will allow you to do. The first thing is it has phantom power built in. In other words, if you have some microphones that need some electricity to power them, well, this will actually take power from the battery, send it through the mic cable to the microphone, and you can use shotgun microphones and condenser microphones and things like that. And so that's really great. So you can turn that on. Here's plus 48 volts. To 12 volts, so that's phantom power. You can turn that on and off, and then you can independently turn on phantom power to either of these XLR inputs. So you might have one microphone that needs phantom power and one that doesn't, and so you can turn that on and off to each one of those. So you have that control as well. You can also set the sensitivity of each of the microphones, and that really is based on the type of DSLR you're shooting and whether it has some controls to gain up or gain down or do some meterings. And the cool thing is the JuicedLink comes with a full instruction manual, and it walks through specific brands and models of camera. So if you have a D3S like this, it'll tell you exactly which settings to put the JuicedLink on so you get the best results, or if you have a 5D Mark II, or if you have a Rebel, Canon Rebel, or if you have a D7000, or depending on the type of camera that you have, it will walk you through each of these settings. And then again, once you have that set up, you can leave it and you're all set to go. So it took about, we used this for our series on audio for video shooting that we did on Digital Photography 101. And we did a lot of tests, and we used this. And for me to set it up for each camera, it took me about 3 to 5 minutes to walk through the instructions and make sure I had everything set. So it's pretty quick to get it set up. And then once you have all these switches done, then just dialing in different levels for each audio, each person that's talking or each instrument, whatever you're miking, is just as simple as adjusting that to make sure the meter is hitting right at the right level, and then just leaving it alone, which is pretty cool. Now the other thing that the JuicedLink does that is really one of its selling points is it has an auto gain control disabler. Now, a lot of DSLR cameras have auto gain that you can't turn off. In other words, they're always going to be listening as hard as possible, and so that translates into a lot of noise because whenever things fall silent or get quiet, the gain is turned way up and you get this hiss, and so it's a really nasty sound. So what this does is it allows you to send a tone or some noise into your camera on one channel, and that's a constant tone. And so what that does is it emulates a constant signal level, and that lowers the gain on your camera. And so on the other channel, all these microphones come through, and it's really clean, and you don't have all that noise and hiss that some cameras can introduce. Now, speaking of which, the preamps on this, the amplifiers that actually bring in the signal from the microphones, well, they are really clean and really quiet, so you're not going to get any hiss or static or noise with the JuicedLink. And for more on this, you can actually go look at Digital Photography 101, where we actually put a bunch of different microphones on this and listen to them. It was pretty cool. So there you have it. This is the JuicedLink. Again, this is the DT454. And this is about $400 for this unit. We've used it here. We got great results. And on the web, we've been looking at other people's results. And again, we've seen many hundreds of people using this with really terrific results. So there you have it, the JuicedLink DT454 for about $400. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, if you would like me to do a review on some products for photography, send your suggestions to AskMark at Adorama.com. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next week.
This episode is brought to you by AdoramaTV. Visit the Adorama Learning Center, where you'll find photography tips and techniques, links to the gear used in this episode, and related videos. For all the latest photography, video, and computer gear, visit Adorama.com. And the next time you're in New York City, visit our store, located on 18th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue.